we'll start the evaluation process tomorrow. We'll send these guys off on their vacation, and we'll start working on 2018.
No table is safe in Buffalo. Not after the Bills ended their long playoff drought. The Bills couldn't do it all themselves. They needed help from the Bengals, who had to beat the Ravens. The Bills sent the Bengals a thank you letter and will also be sending wings in the future. Now, the Bengals tweeted out a response. Hear that Bengal growling, mean and angry. Here he comes a-prowling, lean and hungry. So they're going to be getting wings in Cincinnati. Also, once again, recapping our breaking news story. The Lions have informed Jim Caldwell that he will not be the head coach there in Detroit.
Great stuff. There's a lot of that going on around the league today, so we will be here with you on NFL Network all day long. We've got Mike Garafolo and Peter Schrager here in New York. Ian Rappaport with us as well, so let's bring in our NFL Network insider, Jim Caldwell, 36-28 in four years as the head coach of the Detroit Lions. What do you make of this?
Well, this was the expected move as general manager Bob Quinn informed Caldwell this morning that he would not be returning for a fifth season. And really for the Detroit Lions, this is the direction, Kay, they've been going for the last several weeks. And we did learn that the multi-year extension we thought Jim Caldwell got earlier in the year was actually not that at all, just a 1 year plus an option. So this is something the team left open to happen depending on the results of this year. Once it was clear they were not making the playoffs, it was obvious Jim Caldwell was out. And now Quinn, the second-year GM, gets to hire his own coach for the first time. Keep an eye on Patriots defensive coordinator Matt Patricia. There's going to be others. Quinn is obviously going to have an open search, but Patricia is the name that should be focused on the most as far as my understanding. One, they have a close relationship. Two, Patricia is a respected defensive mind. And three, and maybe just as important, they would be able to keep the offensive staff in place. Jim Bob Cooter and Matt Stafford obviously work together incredibly well. This could be the Lions' plan going forward, guys.
Matt Patricia, what? Great stuff from Ian Rappaport. I wish I knew somebody here in New York that could maybe unload their notebook and they have a lot of stuff in their telephones going on right now. Oh, what's up, Peter Schrager and Mike Garafolo?
Hi.
Hey. Tell us, teach us. We
Welcome,
want to
Peter.
Give us some news.
Happy New Year.
I'll start off with what Ian was saying with Matt Patricia, and everyone's saying, well, why would he go to Detroit? But Matt Patricia and Bob Quinn, the general manager of the Detroit Lions, go all the way back to New England, and they are very, very, very close. There's another guy named Kyle O'Brien who is in the front office of the Detroit Lions, who spent many seasons with Bob Quinn and Matt Patricia in New England. There is a strong tie. When they brought in Bob Quinn, there were a lot of people who thought Jim Caldwell wasn't going to make it last year just because of Quinn's New England relationships, that he can bring a McDaniels or a Patricia. This is the name I've been hearing since Jim Caldwell and the Lions lost that game to the Bengals 2 weeks ago. This is the forerunner. This is the favorite. And whether it was fair or not, Jim Caldwell misses the playoffs, and they're going to go in their own direction. And a lot of times it's about who you know and what your history is. And for Quinn and O'Brien, a lot of the reason why Bob Quinn probably got this job, Ernie Accorsi kind of pushed him that way. He probably said to Ron Wood and the rest of the Ford family, I've got that New England connection. I can get us the next head coach. We're going to be the Patriots of the NFC North.
Jim Caldwell, sorry about your timing, and I don't just mean in Detroit. I also mean in Indianapolis, because 14-2, 10-6. 2-14, got fired. 11-5, 7-9. By the way, 11-5 should have won the playoff game too. Bad call in that playoff game. 9-7, 9-7.
Went to the playoffs.
You're getting fired. Hugh Jackson's going back to work this morning. What is happening in the NFL? I have no idea. I understand it though, because this would have happened last year had they not made the playoffs. When Bob Quinn came in wanting to hire his own coach, and also Matt Patricia, he might accomplish NFL history here, which is he's not going to shave that beard. He's not going to cut the hair. You know, it usually happens with these, a lot of times defensive coordinators who like to have the shaggy look or the long hair. You gotta trim up. You gotta look like a head coach. You're Rex Ryan. You gotta get the lap bands.
You gotta go corporate.
You gotta look corporate, not Matt Patricia.
Slick that hair.
This is gonna be NFL history, Matt Patricia, if you're able to get this job.
Don't you slick that hair, Matt Patricia.
Do not slick the hair, Matt.
Don't you dare.
Well, he may not be able to wear some of the shirts that he's been wearing.
No,
you know, with the clown nose and all that.
That's bad.
Patricia interviewed with the Rams last year, and I can tell you on good information that he had a great interview with the Rams. Now, he didn't get the job. McVay got the job. McVay's basically the anti-Patricia as far as look and presentation. But they came away saying it felt like talking to Belichick. And this is a guy, Matt Patricia, who was the linebackers coach in New England in 2006 when it was Teddy Bruschi, Junior Seau, Mike Vrabel in the room. So he can lead men. This is the number one guy, but of course there's going to be other options. And if you want to give a postmortem on
Caldwell, it's one of those deals where one of the nicest guys, most well-liked guys in the league, but at the end of the day, if you can't win the division when Aaron Rodgers and Sam Bradford aren't the quarterbacks, someone has to take the fall.
Yeah, and just back to Patricia for a second, because we know, I mean, look, rocket surgeon, all that stuff. We can go through all that.
Scientist.
No, it's a joke. Rocket surgery.
Rocket surgery.
You say it's not rocket surgery. That's what you say.
Brain scientist.
That's exactly right. So, but you're right. Like talking to Belichick, he's got that kind of air about him, and the way he talked during Super Bowl. The other thing is, Belichick, much as he's a defensive mind, does give him free reign over that defense. So he's a really good from next to no standpoint. Be curious what he would be like.
Is Bill going to have to interview? Here's my thing. So the Patriots have one thing on their mind, and it's another Super Bowl. Whether or not Matt Patricia's there. So Belichick's going to be like, yeah, you can peace out and go interview.
Well, you get to do that this week. If you have a bye, you get to do that this week. You're going to see that with some of the Eagles guys are going to wind up doing that, some other guys. And then you put them on ice because you can't hire them, although they did address the possibility of changing that rule. They did not do it this year, might do it going forward. You have to wait till you're out.